The seventh day was set apart by God as a sacred day. This action establishes the concept of rest and reverence toward the Creator, a time to contemplate and celebrate the wonders achieved in the previous days. On the day that the Lord God made the earth and the heavens. This passage introduces a more detailed view of God's creative process, especially concerning man. It revisits and deepens the original narrative. And there was no man to till the ground, but a mist went up from the earth and watered the whole face of the ground. Before creating man, God provided the ideal conditions for life. The earth was naturally watered, and the soil was ready to be cultivated. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. Here, God demonstrates his direct interaction with creation. He forms man from the dust and gives him life by breathing into his nostrils. This marks the uniqueness of human beings in relation to the rest of creation. And the Lord God planted a garden eastward in Eden, and there he put the man whom he had formed. God prepares a perfect home for man, full of beauty and resources. The Garden of Eden symbolizes harmony and divine provision. And the Lord God made to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food, and the tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. In Eden, God includes two special trees, the tree of life and the tree of knowledge, which will play crucial roles in the future of humanity. And a river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from there it was parted, and became four heads. This river divides into Pishon, Gin, Tigris, and Euphrates, irrigating the surrounding land and sustaining life in the garden. This geographical detail suggests the centrality and abundance of Eden. And the Lord God took the man and put him into the Garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it. God gives man the responsibility to care for creation, showing that work is part of the divine purpose for humanity. And the Lord God commanded the man, saying, "Of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it. For in the day that thou eatest thereof thou shalt surely die." God sets a limit. Man is free to enjoy everything except the tree of knowledge of good and evil. This prohibition highlights the need for obedience and the consequences of disobeying God's will. And the Lord God said, "It is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him and help meet for him." God observes that man's solitude is not ideal, emphasizing the importance of relationship and complementarity. And the Lord God formed every beast of the field and every fowl of the air, and brought them unto Adam to see what he would call them. And whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name thereof. Adam is tasked with naming the animals, symbolizing his dominion and connection with creation. And the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs, and closed up the flesh instead thereof. And the rib, which the Lord God had taken from man, made he a woman, and brought her unto the man. God creates the woman from the man, showing the unity and equality between them. This creation symbolizes partnership and love in the divine plan. And Adam said, "This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man." Adam recognizes his deep connection with the woman, celebrating the union that God has instituted. This statement establishes the foundation of marriage as a sacred and indissoluble union. And they were both naked, the man and his wife, and were not ashamed. The absence of shame symbolizes the purity and harmony in creation before the entrance of sin.